Hello, hello.
Hello, it looks like I am joined by Shockwave. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Been enjoying the marathon. So, let's start off with an easy one. Why not tell me a little bit about your game that you're running this weekend?
So TimeShift is like this shooter from 2007 that I was really into when I was in high school, or no, middle school actually. Sorry, I wanted to play it when I got an Xbox in high school. But it's this generic kind of Half-Life-y clone shooter that came out in 2007, and it's just mediocre across the board. It was kind of made when all those companies were trying to make the next big shooter hit that everyone was going to get involved in when that trend was a thing. It's just broken. Like you can skip every level to some capacity. Some become like less than a minute long, and some just have a skip where you just walk through a wall because walls don't exist. So
that sounds like speed running at its finest.
it's kind of ridiculous. Some of the strats that get used. An example: the first level, you shoot 2 grenades at your foot to go out of bounds, and it's just you're done. You're done. The level's over. You just walk to the end, and then you're done. It's great.
So, besides that first skip, is there anything else people should be watching for in your run?
Yeah. So the biggest trick in the game doesn't really have a name for the community because I'm really the only person who actively runs it, quote unquote. The biggest trick is I call object flings. So you, based on the name TimeShift, you can shift time in different ways. The big one being time reversal, so you can rewind time for like 3 seconds. The game doesn't really like that when you stand on an object that's rewinding in time. So instead of just like leaving you on it or like hard locking you to whatever path it has, instead if you spam jump, you just fling in whatever direction it's traveling. So you can just go like a mile in the sky and then fall out of bounds. It's insane.
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Tricks like that are always entertaining.
Yeah, it gets used probably at least in half the levels, if not more. One of them gets used to skip the entire level because the exit's behind you, but you have to get high enough that you can go out of bounds to walk to the end.
Very nice, very nice. So, have you ever participated in an Extra Life event before?
I believe I have. The name's obviously familiar, and I'm pretty sure I've done it. I've done multiple speedrun marathons at this point that I would not be surprised if I have already.
Makes sense, makes sense. So, how long have you been speedrunning or streaming on Twitch?
Actively streaming on Twitch, it's probably been... Oh, man, I could actually hold up. I could check my account. Hold up. September 3rd, 2013. So, a little over 6 years now. I started speedrunning in my sophomore year of college, really. I did a little bit freshman year speedrunning Sonic. Ironic, I know. But I started speedrunning Sonic Generations with a friend online. We were just kind of doing ILs, racing each other back and forth for fun. And then in 2013, for my sophomore year of college, I decided to pick up Ocarina of Time, SM64, a lot of like popular speedruns just to kind of get used to it. And then I just kind of fell in love with speedrunning in general. So I ended up speedrunning a beta of a game, which got me on a GDQ stage. And then after that, I basically became one of the best Borderlands 2 co-op runners for like 3 years.
That's always great to hear. I love hearing people that have been to GDQ. How long have you been a part of the furry fan?
Well, that's an interesting. That's an interesting question, I guess, for me in particular. I wouldn't say I'm active in the fandom in particular. More of a bystander. I'll browse, r/furry, fur affinity, stuff like that. Like, I'll go look and see what people are doing. I have a bunch of furries I follow on Twitter, but I don't really interact with the community, and I don't really have a date in mind that I would say I became part of the fandom. I just evolved into it. I don't really know how to really put a hard number on that.
It makes sense. It's just how it is sometimes.
Yeah.
It just sucks you in, even if you don't want to participate.
I mean, even when I was in high school, I sort of like never left that liking liking furry characters and stuff like that. I just never really put a label on it. But I guess the older I got and the more I decided to just explore interests, the more I just got sucked into the fandom, looking at like artwork and stuff. So yeah, I guess I just probably just evolved over time.
So, what other games are you excited to see this weekend, or any other runners for that?
Well, Moonblaze and I are, I would say, pretty good friends. So watching FF, the Free Enterprise run, I believe that's on Sunday. Watching the 4-player race go through that. I'm a huge Ocarina of Time person, so I mean that's like my easily top 3 favorite games of all time, if not my favorite game. So watching the, I believe it's a 3DS run. Watching that is going to be great. I think we also have Twilight Princess in too, if I'm mistaken. So watching, I mean, just any Zelda game, love watching. I do love how ironically now Twilight Princess is now the slowest 3D Zelda game instead of Wind Waker. That's fun.
It's amazing how that sometimes happens.
Yeah, so definitely the Zelda runs. Just because I'm a Zelda person. I've played almost every Zelda all the way through, every 3D Zelda. The only one I didn't play through was Twilight Princess, mainly because I just did not get sucked into it when I was a kid. But probably now I should get back and do that.
I mean, you generally can't go wrong with Zelda, and the speed runs are always entertaining.
Oh, they're insane. Sometimes with the stuff that they find, I am baffled at how they figured out things. Especially, recent example is the barrier skip in Wind Waker. Oh yeah, we have a precise angle within, it's up to tens of thousands of degrees of workability, and you have a range of 30 or something like that works. And it's like, what? How did you? Okay, whatever. The Zelda people are like OOT, where they backflip 3 times, side step twice, roll, flip forward 3 times, and then they go through a wall. And it's like, okay, yeah, you do you.
That sort of precision is why I don't speedrun the 3D Zelda game.
Yeah, I gave up on OOT pretty quickly. I got like a 25-minute and 80%, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. That's as far as I want to go.
Makes sense. Is there anything else you want the viewers to know?
Yes, actually, I mean, big news, at least personally for me, is my Destiny clan and I got actually our run into GDQ. So we're actually going to be speedrunning a Destiny raid on stage, which is, I mean, that's huge. It's going to be the first MMO run ever done at a GDQ, but also it's interesting because now as the days go on, sometimes there'll be a patch that goes out, which we have to change our run on the fly. So it's not just like one of those runs that you can just sit down, reset a file, or like go to a patch of a version of a game. We have to just keep playing, and whatever we have to do to make it work, we just have to make it work.
I don't think I've ever seen an MMO at a GDQ.
This will be the first game MMO run at a GDQ.
That's really, really awesome to hear. I am definitely looking forward to seeing that, and great job on that. So, one of our final questions, where can we find your Twitch and on social media?
So actually, it's on screen on the left. So my Twitch is over there on the left. My Twitter is also the same. My YouTube is also the same. I somehow keep most of those pretty consistent with all of my platforms. So YouTube, Twitter, Twitch are all in the same. It's on the left side of the screen if you want to follow me there. Other than that, that's really all I have in terms of social media. I don't do like Instagram or anything like that. I'm not that crazy yet. I do have a Discord, but I don't have a link to it. That's also on my Twitch if you need that.
All right, and just any final thoughts about the event in general?
No, it's great to be a part of this, and it's going to be a great weekend. I'm certainly going to be contributing my fair share, not only in terms of a run, but I got a huge shift on the weekend. So it'll be fun to help everyone get their runs going and get this marathon going.
Very, very true. Thank you so much for the interview. And of course, a special thank you for all the work you've been doing behind the scenes as well.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. Of course, that was Shockwve, who is doing TimeShift this weekend. Let me pull up the schedule and see when that.
It's on like Sunday later at night. That's all I know off the top of my head. I don't actually remember the exact time it is. I probably should know that.
Yeah, so should I.
Looks like it's like 3:00 in the afternoon Eastern time on Sunday. There you go. That works.
All right, make sure you tune in for that. It is happening, ironically, right after the Free Enterprise 2v2 race. All right, thank you so much for joining us, Shockwve. We will be back in just a moment while we get our next pair ready for their interview.